Welcome to Merle's Pearls of Business Wisdom, where I, Merle M. Singer, the relationship miracle worker, talks about all things relationship and how they impact the workplace. Whether you're the owner or an employee, there is a big impact based on relationship. Now, as you know, I give this little podcast every Thursday. And about once a month, I have a guest. And today, look at my guest. You'd never guess who he is.
Hi, Merle. How's it going?
This is the infamous Professor Frank Chindamo, founder and CEO of Guess, LaughMD.
And I'm feeling very animated today, Merle, as you can imagine.
You look pretty animated to me, Frank.
All right, let me get real with you, girl. I'm gonna get real with you.
All right,
there we are. Okay.
Oh, now there is a handsome Frank Chindamo. Yes.
Well, thank you very much. And even my background is real now. Look, I can touch things.
Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to give you a full-on introduction, and then we're going to have a little conversation. How's that?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. But before you do, can I just say that you were the reason for my introduction to my beautiful girlfriend, Tasha Hinchliffe, who is, well, the reason that I met her was thanks to you, Merle, the relationship miracle worker. So thank you.
True.
Yes.
And thank you for mentioning that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll cut that out and use it. Okay, so now you're going to know who wrote this introduction, because who else do you know who has top-level experience in comedy, film, and TV production? For instance, SNL, Ghostbusters, 30-plus comedy awards, plus in academia, app production, science and business, with 3 successful startups so far. Seriously, tell us. We're tired of Frank's hype. Everybody, can you hear it in the background? So let me continue. Frank, prior to this, was an adjunct professor in web video at USC, UCLA, Chapman, Pepperdine University, and Emerson College. He began his media career in writing and production at SNL. That's amazing. Frank has won 30-plus awards for producing comedy videos for HBO, Showtime, CBS, and more.
There you have it, my SNL script from the old days.
Yeah. Huh. I think the video comedies that you've done for HBO and Showtime and that's pretty impressive. He launched.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, he launched his world's first mobile comedy channel. Yes, I know that. Was featured on the front pages of Forbes Magazine, LA Times, the Wall Street Journal, and was in the New York Times.
And there it is. There you
Okay.
go. You're not lying. Front page of the LA Times, cover story in Forbes. I like that.
Yeah, I like it.
And Wired.
I like it. You should
All
have.
right. And that's you, people. There you are. All right.
You should have no glare.
Let me switch out.
Okay. Do you want to hear the rest of your introduction?
I'm sick of me.
And so that's really the perfect introduction, because what Frank understands is the value of humor and that the value of humor, okay, I can talk to you all about it in terms of relationships, relationships at home and at work, but he can talk to you about the value of relationships in your physical being, in your health, in your living a longer, healthier life. And in fact, not only can he do that, but I think we got a shot at his doing that right now. So
Yeah, no pressure, Merle. Thanks. Yeah, be funny, mister. Laugh, clown,
no,
laugh. Come on,
no,
monkey dance.
you don't have.
Yes.
It's different. There are two ways you can talk about humor, and you can also be funny.
Mm,
So
I can do neither.
you
I
you
mean,
are.
both. Sorry.
I had
What I
my
was searching
hopes
for
up.
was both.
So
Yes.
high. You could do a little of this, a little of that.
Ah,
Nothing. Nothing.
well, as my parents would say, what a disappointment.
No, they didn't say that. Your
To my
mother didn't
face.
say that.
Not to my face. No,
No, your mother's a nice lady.
she is. She is. So yeah, no, I will happily talk about the value of humor in relationships because, as you know, every personal ad seems to say something to the effect of, I'm looking for a guy with a nice sense of humor. Right? Everybody wants a sense of humor, and you don't have to be funny to have a sense of humor. I'm living proof. But it helps, right? And so humor in relationships, as you say, Merle, what happens when you guys are having a big fight?
What happened? Well, we say stupid things. One thing we don't do, we don't say mean things. We
Hmm.
say stupid things, but not mean things.
Okay.
That's and I never did mention it to you, Frank, but Nathan is a very easygoing guy. He is really easygoing.
Hmm.
The one time when we were dating, the one thing that was a complete deal breaker to him was no name calling. No name calling.
Wow. Wow.
And we have in our blah, blah, blah years of marriage, no name calling.
Nice.
But we do get annoyed.
Hmm.
And we do say things. And sometimes you, I don't know if you've had that experience. Have you? I don't know how much you've had arguments with Tasha at this point.
Oh, never.
So then you understand that sometimes you feel like you're in the middle of a sitcom. And that's when you realize this is ridiculous and it's funny. It doesn't mean you're still not annoyed, but the whole thing just seems kind of funny. And so you say, this is funny.
Yes. Well, Tasha believes in no name calling. We never, believe me, in my head, I am calling such names. But we also have a rule against gunplay and knife throwing. So, yeah.
So you're ahead of us.
Yes, you should write that into the prenup.
Absolutely.
Yes, because a prenup is, after 80,000 years of marriage, you guys should think about one. Yeah. So,
So
boy, am
how
I glad we're doing this in the late afternoon. I'm watching the sunset over here.
I was
Very
wondering what you were
nice.
watching, yeah.
I've had a cocktail. Here's what you want to see. You don't want to see me. Here we go. Come on.
Okay. I'm waiting.
All right. That's
Oh,
what I'm looking out at, right? I
yeah,
got Moyle.
yeah.
Yeah, we got the whole setup here, Merly girl, but that's what your people want to see. They don't give a shit about us. Oops. I'm sure they do. Okay. All right. Wow. I just turned this to PG-13. Ah, poop.
You've
All
lost
right.
so many clients
I know.
already.
Yes. You have a little beeper machine. So the whole thing about using humor in relationships is great. The whole thing about using humor in medicine is astounding because everyone knows that laughter is the best medicine. You can ask 10 people on the street, do you agree with the idea that laughter is the best medicine? 10 out of 10 will agree. Like 9 out of 10 will agree that the earth revolves around the sun, right? But 10 will agree on this. It is literally translated in many other languages, German, Chinese, Spanish, that laughter is the best medicine. We know this innately as people. And so my quest in life is to make sure that and to advance the idea that laughter actually can be used in medicine. And so that's why I founded LaughMD.
Tell us more. How's that for a segue?
All right, then. I'm going to take intermittent breaks. And when I stop talking, you should jump in, Merle. This is podcast 101. What are you doing?
You want me to say something for a while?
You have to talk a lot, but you are the host.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I should give you this one opportunity to talk unfettered. Well,
Okay, all right.
not quite, not quite.
Not quite.
Don't go crazy. No, but I want to know. I mean, it's there's a lot of things that people know. There's a lot of things that people say this would make a great business. This people should do this. But you said that in your head, and then you've done something about it.
Mm, mm, mm.
So, kind of
I had to do it.
Go ahead.
Well, the reason I had to do it was because I had a background in comedy. Yes, all those awards for making comedy films. And yes, I did work on Ghostbusters and SNL in the beginning of my career. So I did have a strong background in comedy. I'd researched a lot about comedy. I knew the palliative effects of comedy. And so during that time, my dad passed away in a hospital. My stepdad passed away in a hospital, and then my youngest brother passed away in a hospital. And you spend a lot of time in hospitals, and you're looking up at the TVs, and you're looking at the environment. You're thinking, "My God, this place could use a few laughs," right? On the TVs, they're playing, like literally, and I'm not kidding you. You can go to our website, laughmd.com, and see this. There was Dr. Phil, 10 a.m. in the morning, when my stepdad was trying to get better. And at 10 in the morning, Dr. Phil has somebody literally shooting up with heroin on camera on television at 10 in the morning. And as horrifying as that is, that's what's playing on the TVs in hospitals. And it's just disgusting. And so that's not going to help you get better. That's going to increase your, to go scientific on you now, it's going to increase your cortisol, your adrenaline, and your other, stress hormones, right? And the stress hormones will impede your process in healing. They will make you experience pain in a more profound way. They will make you nervous and anxious and stressed, which is the opposite of what you want for your healing, right?
Right.
Yeah. So guess what? Being a guy that makes a lot of comedies, I was like, well, can we just give you a channel of comedy videos and we'll put it on your TVs? And hospital after hospital said, no, it's too dangerous. What if you play something, off color? And I'm like, how much more off color can you be than, what you're showing now? Right. So, I mean, literally, we walked into an urgent care facility, and on a giant 6 foot by 8 foot screen in the waiting room while people are nursing head wounds and, trying to keep their aorta from bleeding out, they're watching Fox News. Now, I don't care what political slant you are of, that is something that is going to increase your stress and your anxiety and your nervousness. And, the catheter commercials don't help. So we so we set out to create something that was a reduction of your stress, a reduction of your anxiety and your nervousness. And we've proven it now 4 times in 4 different studies. So ask me what LaughMD is.
What is LaughMD, Frank?
Funny you should ask. So LaughMD is a digital therapeutic. It plays on iPads and iPhones and things like that. And we supply this to hospitals, dialysis clinics, oncology centers, and to drug and alcohol recovery centers. Any place where you're, in a bed, or you're kind of locked into a situation like in dialysis, you can't get up, right? When you're getting your chemotherapy, you can't get up. So you're stuck with, it's you and your device, or you and the TV. And we've already talked about how terrible the TV is for you. The commercials are loud and it's stressful. And now TV is literally half commercials and promos and, credits and things like that. So it's very detrimental. And we substitute that with, all comedy, all humor, all vetted, so that you're able to show only comedy that has been, gets the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. So let me show you a little bit of it here. This is what we do. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. So this is the simplified version of the app, just for our purposes. But in the funny videos page, there you have things like sketch comedy, and we've got literally the latest from SNL, right? This is what aired last night on SNL. So if you're wondering when this podcast aired, it
wasn't last night.
That was last night. Yeah.
Oh, it's Sunday. You're right.
Yeah. So, and then we've got, things like funny animals or funny babies. In the funny animals category, I'm a big fan of Grumpy Cat. Oh, Grumpy Cat, how are you, Grumpy? Here he is riding around on a Roomba. Now, I'm going to hit play on this. And you tell me how you don't laugh at this.
Got a great face.
How do you not laugh at that? Right? Come on. Grumpy Cat on a Roomba. It gets you every time. So it's not political. There's no violence, nudity, hate speech, or anything like that. It's just Grumpy Cat and his friend the dog, who is wondering, when is it my turn?
I like that.
I want to go. Right. Now, that's a nice to have at hospitals, of course, but here's the need to have, the surveys that we do. So we're asking people, did you enjoy the videos? Were you in pain? What was your pain level before and after? Things like that. Do you need a message to the staff, right? So, adjust my meds or whatever. So you can send messaging to the staff and other useful characteristics for the patients in the medical requirement.
So you're saying that whatever survey that they just signed, that they could add things, comments or questions for the staff, right?
Yes.
And,
yes, exactly.
And how often
exactly.
how quickly does that come from the time they write it to the time that the staff sees it?
Well, we asked for the before and after metrics, so I can show you, for example, at CCare Cancer Care Clinics, we had literally 100% of the patients said, this helped my stress. I want this back, and this made me feel less nervous and anxious. It also, with literally 100% of the patients who are experiencing pain, it helped lower their pain levels by as much as 50%.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it's no mystery, laughter is the best medicine. We all know we feel better when we laugh, right? I'm not telling you anything you don't know. There doesn't need to be, a ton of research on this, but oh, wait, there's 500 studies that show that laughter is actually good medicine in different ways, in different forms. At USC, we showed that 91% of the patients with pain reported pain loss.
And how large was the study?
There was an N of 31 patients there, about 30 patients at CCare, and we're about to launch another study now with A.T. Still University, thanks to Dr. Joseph Cohen, Dr. Joseph Rich Cohen, and Dr. Joshua Cohen, a father and son team, who are putting this on at A.T. Still University. And we're going to be researching there the palliative effects, the beneficial effects of laughter on head, neck, and orofacial pain.
What was the last name? Head, neck, or what?
Orofacial.
Oh, orofacial.
Orofacial, which I
Your
believe
teeth.
means the facial area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you know, your husband was a pharmacist. Ask him.
Yeah, true. My son is a doctor.
Oh my God, that's right, Joseph Cohen, the lovely and
Cohen?
talented Joseph Cohen.
Well, close.
What's it?
Close.
What do you mean? What am I off on?
His first name is Joseph.
Oh God, yes, singer. Oh my God, sorry, I'm all Cohened out. I'm gonna tell you, I got Cohen's here, I got Cohen's there, I got a singer now. Okay, thank you. You know,
we are the musical family. Thank you.
you're the singers. Okay, all right. So, did I mention that I've got a Daffy Duck? Look, right here. We've got an original. Okay, you're gonna have to take my word for it. It's glued in there, but that's Daffy Duck. That's an original Warner Brothers cell of Daffy Duck.
That's awesome.
Yes. What a segue, huh? So, you know, the reason we do this is because nobody else is doing it, and it's such an obvious idea that laughter ought to be used as medicine. It should be used as one of the quivers in the arrow of medical professionals, and they're not doing that. They're, you know, Kaiser Permanente had an ad campaign, kp.org/laugh, advising you to laugh, but yet no one is providing that service, and especially us, where we're able to use.
Did you take that ad and bring it into their salesperson or their top administrative and say, here's your ad. I see you value this. So therefore,
you know what? You're 100% right. Let's see if it's still up. Yep. It's still up. kp.org/. Let's see if it's still up.
I don't see how you don't use that to get in the door.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, they had their own campaign. So that being said,
their campaign, you don't interfere with that. You amplify their campaign.
Right, exactly. I'm looking it up now.
I'm not sure.
But
yeah, go ahead.
You didn't, you know, these people aren't paying big money to watch me, look shit up on the internet.
I agree. This is a podcast.
Yeah. It is a podcast. Come on, focus, Frank. Focus. Yes.
But I really, in this world of accountability or no accountability, I think it is good to point out to people that if this is their value, then this would be something that would enhance what they value.
Well, you know, the reason that we curate the videos is because negative humor doesn't have the same palliative effects. Good positive humor will increase your endorphins, it'll increase your serotonin, it'll increase your dopamine. Now, for the relationship miracle worker, that is something that you want to use in a relationship, right? Because it'll help in, every stretch of the imagination, right? For a patient in a hospital bed or receiving a transfusion, it'll especially help, right?
Well, in relationships, it will help the relationship continue.
Right. I mean, I'm
It,
sure
it,
in
it-
your
it's, I
book,
mean, so you're
Cracking,
talking about the death of the person. I'm talking about the death of the relationship. Really, humor is, uh, uh, in fact, I have to tell you this. One of my friends just sent several of us, our PACE group, a um, a link to 9 things that crows do that are amazing. And one of the things that a crow does is, when they're around cats, so there's one cat and they'll tweak their tail until the cat gets annoyed. And then this other cat saunters along, and the crow will tweak that cat's tail until the cat gets annoyed, and then the cats, it can't be the bird, obviously, so the cats start fighting each other, and the birds sit there and watch. So
those crows.
I don't know if you're going to call that positive crow humor, but I thought it was pretty funny.
That's hilarious. Crows teasing cats.
So
Film
that
7.
humor is, across the board. There's, uh, more humor in this world, and people, or not people, seeking and enjoying humor because of all the reasons that you say. And if you mentioned that the kind of humor that really works is positive humor. I mean, because, when people think something's funny and it's hurtful, that's not really funny. I mean, maybe
Hmm.
it's funny to them, but it's not funny to anybody else.
Hmm.
And it's mean, and it's mean spirited, and it doesn't get any good vibes in any way. But positive humor is important for our survival, really. And because it is a positive approach, what it does is it has the halo effect or the ripple effect, in that not just that thing that you just saw and laughed at is funny, but other things around you, you see in a more positive way. So if you're in the hospital bed and you're laughing your, self a lot, uh, uh, when the nurse comes in, she's not Nurse Ratched this time. She's actually nice. Uh, the wallpaper, not the wallpaper, but the paint on the wall it's okay. It's soothing to you in a way that it wasn't, a minute ago, because there's the effect of that humor and the positiveness that it brings with. That's one of the reasons why it works in relationships. Because as soon as you see, as mad as you are, as soon as you see something that's hilarious, maybe it's just that the cat just jumped on you to calm you down, or anything that just changes your perspective in that humorous, in that positive way, is it is a great asset to us living our lives.
Well, that's the long way of saying that laughter is indeed the best medicine.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And
I had the time. I
and
took the time.
well, I couldn't agree more. As I said at the beginning, it's useful for relationships. I'm sure you must mention it in Cracking the Relationship Code, the book that you
Oh,
wrote about
oh
this.
God, he's trying to help me out. Isn't that nice? Well, let me see. Yes, on page 69, 73, and 85. Some mention of humor.
Okay. All right then. Page 69, not a coincidence. There you
Yeah,
go. Cracking the
that's why.
relationship by Merle Singer. Cool. Yeah. Well, again, I mean, look, I was divorced. I was, searching around for the right partner. I was on all kinds of internet dating services, and you gave me the advice that led me to finding Tasha, which, I'm forever grateful for. And the added perk is that it gets us invited to your Passover Seder's.
She is a nice woman, and you are lucky. Aside from being smart enough to take my advice, and you did really specifically. Isn't she
That's
beautiful?
us. That's on her birthday. Yeah, exactly. So I'm very proud of her and love her very much.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. So
Yeah,
good. That's all I can say. It's good.
it's good. It's good. Sure. Okay. It's good.
And you
Yes.
too, everyone. You too.
Yes. Listen to Merle.
So,
So,
yeah,
you
go
know,
ahead.
if I was just going to say that, if your viewers are interested at all, go to laughmd.com. There is a lovely little 2-minute video that explains everything that we do. It talks about how we work with hospitals, all the studies that we did at USC and UCLA, at Chapman University, for example, where I was a professor. We tested 30 healthcare providers over 30 days, and the study showed that they were 13% less stressed in only 3 minutes. In
Wow.
other words, one comedy video would lower their stress levels by that
Wow.
little. Yeah. So they went from a 5 out of 5 to a 4 out of 5 pretty quickly. And what else can do that in 3 minutes besides, maybe a bowl of Colombian hash?
Maybe. I don't know.
A shot of whiskey, but those are frowned upon in the medical environment, especially by your therapist. So we try
But
not to do that.
humor is not expensive. It's something that when you leave the hospital, you can take it home with you. Uh,
Mhm.
and if you use it at home enough, you may not even have to go to the hospital.
There you go. Laughter is the best medicine. I mean, as Larry King told us once, laughter is the best medicine, and comedians live longer than other people because they laugh so much. George Burns, on his 99th birthday, I was in a press conference with him on his 99th birthday, and the New York Times said, "So what are you planning to do for your 100th birthday?" And he said, "I'm going to be having a concert at the Royal Albert Hall, and you at the New York Times are welcome to attend. I'm happy to sell you a ticket."
Did he ever make it to 100?
Um,
You don't know. You don't
they're gonna
remember.
have to look that one up. I don't want to, I know, but I don't want to say. All right. Google it for those of you who have more time on your hands than really should be legally allowed.
Okay. All right.
So that's the moral of the story, Merle. Laughter is the best medicine. Use it in your relationships, and please go to LaughMD and think about how you can tell your doctors, your hospitals, your medical providers to please use it in their venues, because it will help you heal faster, better, with less pain, less painkillers, um, less anxiety, less stress. All these things. 500 studies, not kidding. Look them up. 500 studies. National Institute of Health. They've done studies in South Korea, Iran, Canada, the UK, obviously the United States, literally all over the world. They've done all these studies, and they show exactly what you already know, which is that laughter is, good medicine.
So every time you go to the doctor, tell them, don't forget, you should use LaughMD in your hospitals. And if you don't know about it, you should know about it. And here's the website. If everybody
There you
would
go.
do just that,
There you
uh,
go. It's not available to the public, unfortunately. It's only available in medical facilities, but
but for the
some of it.
public, what the public can do is take your brilliant knowledge and your brilliant research, and when you're feeling kind of blah, put on a comedy, put on some comics that you know, watch TV, do YouTubes, uh, whatever your way of getting humor. And if you don't have a way of bringing humor into your life, if you haven't done that before, let that be a lesson to you to know it's time to bring more humor into your life.
Yes.
Is that brilliant or what?
So is everything you said, Merle.
Duh, duh. Yes, okay. So I think it's time for our concluding remarks in that case.
All right
Unless
then.
you have another, your conclusion, would you like to conclude before the conclusion?
I don't know, buy low, sell high, but not if we're
Perfect.
talking about marijuana.
Time to go.
I've worn out my welcome. Thank you so much, everybody. Merle Singer, author of Cracking the Relationship Code.
And thank you for listening to Merle's Pearls of Business Wisdom. And thank you, Frank Chindamo, for this humorous interview.
Yay! All right, I'm
And
gonna go out as I came in, Merle. Here we go.
don't forget, Relationship Miracle Worker. You can find this episode and all past episodes on relationshipmiracleworker.com/podcast or Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and all your other favorite podcast platforms. And here is living proof of how humor can transform you.
Thank you very much, Merle. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Frank. And thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.